Hello, everyone out there, all over the world. Um, I am back, it would appear. I haven't been around for a while, and there are very good reasons for that, and I'm going to tell you what they are. I'm going to tell you what I've been up to. Some of you will notice that I look slightly different, and I will explain how and why that has happened. But I just want to share with you that everything that I've been doing over the last year has been so that I can serve this community and the people that I see individually and in groups better. And it's been an incredible journey for me as well. I've always said that one of the reasons that I started the group in the first place was because sometimes we need to be led by someone who is on the same path, who's just a little bit further up along that path, and who maybe has cleared some of the weeds out and tried and tested some things, and and knows some of the options. And I've been digging deep into that for the last year, and it has been amazing and at times a little bit scary. But I am back, and I am definitely going to be digging in to serving you all on a far more regular basis. The first thing I want to tell you about is my journey to become a Reiki energy healer. Now, I've been a healer, an energy healer, since I was 22. Very low key. I would only do friends, family, and when it was required, it came to me very naturally and kind of out of the blue. I didn't know what was going to happen. I had a friend who had been in an accident and was in a lot of pain, and they'd given me a lift home from work. I was 22 years old, so it was quite some time ago. And they needed to take some very heavy duty painkillers, which they didn't have with them because they were driving. And I said, take your shirt off and trust me. And I don't know where it came from. And I did it, and they were blown away. And they were like, the pain has gone. What did you do? How did you do that? I said, I have absolutely no idea. From that point on, I played around with it on myself, on my children. Experimented on them, family members, usually when it was needed, not so much people coming to me, but when it was needed. And that was great. But very out of the blue, at the very beginning of 2022, I was sitting at work doing the job that I do in the British NHS, and I thought, I'm going to get certified in Reiki. Totally out of the blue. And I did that. I have taken Reiki level 1, Usui and Holy Fire. I then progressed and did my Reiki level 2 practitioner training, which is also in Usui and in Holy Fire 3. And then at the beginning of this year, around about March, I took my master practitioner teacher degree in Usui and in Holy Fire. This has been phenomenal in my life. I've very much embedded it and embraced it, and just basically just lived it. And it has been an amazing time. So that's the first thing. So, and I do Reiki healings in person here. This is my treatment room. I also do them online. And that's been phenomenal. I then, it's all very divinely sorted out. I didn't plan any of it. Before COVID happened, I was looking into doing hypnotherapy training. And because of COVID and other things that happened just before COVID, I postponed that. And strangely enough, in the July of last year, I got an email from that provider asking me if I was still interested. I went for an interview, which was on the telephone, and I commenced my training in solution-focused hypnotherapy in September. I qualified in June this year. Some of you may have seen the graduation pictures coming up. So I'm now a fully qualified and working solution-focused clinical hypnotherapist. There is nothing woo-woo about that. It is very neurological. Very much, I always explain how the brain works, and it very much brought together all the things that I did in my very early lives with you guys, especially the Nutty Shitana, which is alternate nostril breathing. I will get to how it all started to come together. It's to do with the polyvagal system and calming your system down so that you can learn and digest and, you know, engage with what's going on. So, and I was doing this on all in a very sort of instinctual way, which was quite, when I look back, I'm like, wow, I didn't know I was doing that. And now I know all the really hardcore science of it. So that was that. During this time, I've been continuing to work in the NHS. I've also got my clinical hypnotherapy practice, which I run 1 or 1.5 days from home here, because obviously I have commitments within the NHS here. I've continued with my trauma coaching, and also teaching and coaching in Reiki since then as well. I also have a Reiki practice, which I merged together appointment-wise here. And now this is where the story gets really odd. I've always been very keen to get people to self-care, and the thing with the people who have suffered trauma in their life is that self-care is just, it feels glib when people say it to you. It feels like, don't you tell me to have a bath and have a hot milky drink because I will end you. I get that. I get it. I think it's very, very glib. It's used by mental health services, I'm sure, in the whole of the Western world. I didn't know it's definitely used here. However, actually, self-care is it's a very personal thing, but it's also very difficult to do when you've had a lot of trauma and a lot of neglect in your life, in that neglect from childhood, and then we go and we neglect ourselves. So, as you know, I was very passionate about that. Now, over the last year, unfortunately, it was found that I had some sort of abnormality, lesion, is what they found, in my small bowel. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. It wasn't. What it is a really very strange and rare condition called primary, and if I pronounce this wrong for anybody who's in the know, I apologize, lymphangiectasis. Basically Waldman's disease. And I've been treated quite poorly by the medical professions in the UK. The whole time I was going through this, and it was a cancer scare, essentially. But the whole time I was going through this, I felt deep in my absolute being that I had the ability to heal from this and to get better, and not only to get better, but to actually improve what was already here. Yes, I was right on that. And I have, strangely enough, I've always used food as medicine. And what I'm actually studying now is to be an Ayurvedic counsellor, practitioner. And it really has got me digging very, very deep into an exploration of self-care, self-love, proper self-love. I don't mean having a hot drink or a hot bath or telling yourself in a mirror, which I think is just naff, that you're wonderful and you matter and you're worthy, because frankly, as a trauma thriver myself, I know it doesn't work because we don't like doing it. It's horrible. So I started doing that. So I'm actually living a Vedic lifestyle, which has been exciting. It's a lot easier than it appears. And that's why physically I'm starting to look very different from what I did before, because it is supporting my digestion, which supports my skin, which is my biggest organ, which supports everything else, which supports my mind, which supports my primitive mind. It is phenomenal. And what I'm going to say to you is that everything that I'm going to be doing from now on is going to be influenced by that. Ayurveda is an ancient, and been used the whole time, an ancient system of medicine from South India. It is influenced by the bag. Oh, you know when I can see it in my head. The Bhagavad Gita. Anyway, ancient text that influences yoga and things like that. Obviously, those who know me. I'm a great fan of yoga, and anybody who's ever been treated by me, either in the NHS or will know that I'll say to them, "Have you tried yoga?" I've been doing yoga since I was 17. I am not a yoga body. I am not a gym bunny. I do not look like that. However, I can honestly say that it definitely supports everything about recovery. And it's not about wrapping yourself into a pretzel. I can promise you that, because I do not do that. I'm 50 years old and I work long shifts. And I can tell you I do not do pretzels or toe stands or headstands or anything like that. So essentially, what I want to share with you all is that I would like to do a series of interactive lives, not very long, to really dig into self-care and maybe have a bit of a play and an experiment with different ways of doing that, and how to build it into a routine in your life that supports the rest of your life, doesn't get in the way of it. Things that are you're already doing, but you can add to them and make them more mindful and really feel the whole body and whole spirit benefits of them. I actually feel that I'm very, very passionate about this, that these modalities all fit together. My hypnotherapy, my absolute nerdiness around neurology and why we do what we do when we do it, and why we think the way we think. And then the Ayurveda, yoga, and also the energy healing. So what I would like for you to all do for me, once you've heard this, is I would like you to comment below and let me know whether you'd be interested in maybe half-hour interactive lives with myself, maybe once a week, where we basically sort of dig into one particular aspect. You can ask questions, and you can take away homework. I'll put together worksheets so that you've got sort of almost like a recipe plan of how to do for particular things. And we can basically go along this path together, because I want to share all this stuff I've learned is no good to anyone, and it's definitely no good to me unless I can actually share it with the people who need it most. And that, my friends, is you. So I would really, really love to be able to do that. These interactive lives will not cost money. I will do that completely gratis as a service to our community and as a service to all of you. If people want to dig into it further, or they want to go through other things with me, or explore Reiki, or explore clinical hypnotherapy, that's fine. I'm all about that and all up for that. I will also post in the comment section of this video, I will also post both my websites. One is my Reiki practice and the other one is my clinical hypnotherapy practice. Don't panic, they don't talk to each other, but you can click on other therapies and you can be taken to the other one, which I've put together. But yeah, I'm really excited to still be on this journey with you all. And feel free to reach out to me if you want to, either in Messenger or in the comments here, or even in there's a group chat, I believe. Yeah, it's very exciting. So I'm going to say goodbye from the beautiful and amazing late August sunshine in the UK. We've not had a lot this year. We've not had a lot. But it's beautiful, and the birds are singing, and everything is beautiful. I want to say namaste, and I will see you all on the other side.